Today I'm here to talk to you about my journey as someone who genuinely hated mathematics in the past in high school to becoming a mathematics researcher here at the Honors College in, I've been here 2 years now, 2.5 years. And so if I sat here for 10 minutes and tried to talk to you about some of the topics I'm working on, I feel like I wouldn't really get to you guys. So I'm going to put you guys in my shoes. I'm going to walk from when I came into the Honors College and what I did and what you can do to become an undergraduate researcher. But to understand how I got to where I am, we're going to start with where I started. And so in high school, once again, I hated math. I got B's and C's in my math classes. I thought whenever I took a math course that there was a lack of opportunity. Thought it was very repetitive, and more than anything else, I just thought the teachers were bad. I did not know what math meant. I did not know how I could use it. The only thing I really had an interest in coming out of high school was computers. I liked fixing computers. That's how I'd make money as a teenager. And so coming into the Honors College, for those of you who are taking interdisciplinary math or doing engineering, you know they throw you straight into a bunch of really intense math courses your first semester. And that's what happened to me. So I ended up having to take discrete math and calculus, and I was struggling. I did not know what was going on. I honestly, more than anything else, was just confused. But in that first semester, in that confusion, what I ended up doing was trying to find something I had interest in. I had that spark of computer interest in me, and so one day I talked to Dr. Feely, actually at one of the faculty lunches they hold. And I said to Dr. Feely, I really like computers. And Dr. Feely said to me, I think I have a guy. And that guy, no longer here, but was Dr. Verma. And under Dr. Verma, I had my first experience with research. He tried to push me into research. And so he told to me, when I came into his office, he was like, I heard you like computers, I heard you like even quantum computing. So you're gonna write me a literature review by the end of the semester. And I was honest with him. I said, no clue what a literature review is. I don't know what is going on. And so that entire semester, he would pull me in once a week to these classes, to these meetings, and he would make me read out papers I found on quantum computing to him, and be like, either like, yes, this is a good paper, or no, go find me some more. And I would do that week after week, the entire semester. And he forced me to basically put together a literature review I could present at conferences. And so, really, the point I want to get across here is that I had no qualifications. I had no clue what a research is. I did not know what a scientific question was. But oftentimes what's enough is just to go out to your professors that you like, say hi, say that you like the research they do. And the fact that many of you are first-year students, the fact you show interest is enough to get into research. And so, really, that is the big outcome. It's just, please make sure you talk to people you're interested in. And so, I keep talking to Dr. Verma throughout the next semester, and he was like, you should start looking at conferences to apply to. And so I ended up applying to the National Conference for Undergraduate Research that year in Los Angeles. I got in, I was able to present there, and with that experience, it becomes a lot easier to get more research experience. And so it was about February, and my mom sent me a text on Messenger one night. And my mom was like, hey, I found this research internship over the summer in Daytona. And I was like, okay, this seems interesting, so I'll try to apply. And these are called REU sites. They are very small. They usually only have 5 to 10 students in each one for the summer. So I was like, okay, I have still pretty little experience. You know, I'll apply, but we'll see what happens. And I ended up getting in, completely beyond my expectations. And at this point, really, what happened is I got hired under this professor in Daytona called Dr. Canales. And Dr. Canales wanted me to build drone detection systems that the military could use. And so, but he had a caveat, which is that every other member of my lab was fired or quit or graduated. And so I had to figure out how to lead a lab project on my own full time. And I was done for. I was working 60-hour weeks. I never did an engineering project, and he was a very strict guy. He wanted he wanted new things every week, or he would come for your neck, respectfully, because I love the guy. And so I really had to figure out very quickly, what does it mean to lead a research project? What does it mean to, what is the process for creating prototypes for scientific use? And I also had to figure out how to communicate and talk to the Department of Defense and write grants through them. And so really what helped me throughout this experience was just breaking these larger tasks into smaller parts. I was genuinely so overwhelmed. And so I talked to him and I'm like, I have no clue what you want me to do. And he's like, start small. So he told me he said you should break it into separate segments for each part of your project, and you should work piece by piece. And that genuinely did help me a lot. And so in my first couple weeks, I worked on some of the coding for the project, and the next weeks I worked on building prototypes. And so really what I was able to learn from working at this RAU site leading a lab project is that once you do get into research, be confident in yourself. Because you can have the best achievement ever. You could have discovered something completely new, but if you cannot sell yourself, then you're not going to get your point across. What I learned is that it's okay to work for the higher ups. It's okay not to know what to do, especially being new to research as a first year or even as a second year or any point in your undergraduate career, really, because this is the time where you learn to do research. It's okay to go to your professors, your PIs, and be like, no clue what's going on. I need help. And usually they will be more than happy to try to help you. And once again, I do recommend segmenting larger projects into smaller tasks. And the other really big research project I have was studying domination with Dr. Henry, which I'm currently doing. This is my current research project. And it's part of my thesis. And so I come back from my summer project. I have another year where I've been learning math. I've been getting better at math. I've kind of understanding what it means. Then I come in this year and I now need to write a thesis because I'm graduating. But even though now I've definitely had more experience in research, there's always still challenges. And domination gave me challenges. And so really, what I came in and overwhelmed with was just the fact that my professor really wanted me to interplay math and programming in a lot more deeper aspect than I could have anticipated prior. And even though I've authored papers before this, I still really felt overwhelmed with the fact that your thesis is often 30 or 40 pages. And so really, what ended up happening is I reached out to Dr. Henry the semester before I started my thesis, which you should do when you do that. And we talked and we came to a compromise. I liked computers, he liked the domination, he liked his graphs. So I decided, so we agreed on to do algorithms for domination. And so we came together, we started working on that, and having pull out papers. And once again, really what helped me here was just being confident when approaching professors. Because if I didn't go up to Dr. Henry and I was like, hey, like I want to do this, but I want to do it with my specific little niche, I would have been put with another professor probably. I probably would have done a project I've enjoyed nearly as much. Once again, especially for thesis, do something you enjoy. If you do a topic for thesis you have no interest in, you're going to be miserable. Your last year as an undergraduate here will be a miserable time. And finally, just once again, be sure to segment your bigger project into smaller things, because that is really what will get you through research. And so, with these projects in mind, I just want to mention real fast some things I wish I knew getting into research as a first-year student. And those things are knowing that research really isn't easy. Research is actually probably one of the hardest things to do as an undergraduate. But that difficulty is often what makes it worthwhile. If I didn't struggle as working in the lab, I would have never known how to do those things. I would have never offered papers. I would have never been to conferences. And so that difficulty can bring you a lot of reward. And you don't need to be an expert to start. That's probably the most important thing. If there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this, is that if you have an interest in research, just go for it. It's okay not to have experience. And it kind of pairs into making sure you seek mentors and collaborators, people who are interested in what you do, and take those small steps now. The more small steps you take towards reaching your goal as a researcher, the more you will end up achieving. And that is all I have for you all. And I really do appreciate your time.
Questions for this fine student, you can ask at the end, but we're going to move on to the next round.